skiing, riding, sledding, winter biking, winter hiking.
No matter how you Vermont, please Vermont safely.
Cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowman building.
This year, that means a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test or a 14-day home quarantine with no symptoms to visit.
Snowball fighting, ice skating, ice climbing, ice fishing, ice cream eating.
So we can all Vermont safely this year.
Dining, craft beering.
Talk to your favorite inner resort about smart travel suggestions, reservation policies, and the best way to Vermont this winter.
Hot cocoaing, antiquing, shopping, fireside napping.
For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
Reinvent yourself at UCLA Extension. Explore continuing education programs to enhance and expand your skill set. Gain real-world skills taught by industry experts that you can apply immediately. Learn from anywhere and choose from a wide variety of online courses in entertainment, digital technology, business, engineering, and more. Winter Quarter begins January 4th. Learn more at uclaextension.edu.
You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. We are going to do a part 2 to our podcast from this morning. And we have 2 illustrious guests. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Well, Darius, you go ahead and start it. You go ahead and start it, man.
Yeah, there's some points that I've missed, like after re-listening to the podcast from the part 1.
Okay.
And I saw that I missed. There's like a lot of missed opportunities. So the last speaker was saying that black men make more than black women, and then later on she said in the same position. I guess that's what she wanted to clarify. I would love to see, but there was no statistics on that. There was nothing. I even looked it up. There's so many variables that you can even have in that. Mm-hmm. Like, do he have a certain amount of experience more than she do? Or, like, do they have the same type of education?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't want to say nothing, but what school do they go to?
Yeah.
So, those are different variables that you have to measure. Instead of just saying a blanket statement, all black men make more than black women. Because, hell, even in the 60s, it depends on what job you have. For example, can I think of that movie? But Taraji P. Henson, she was working with NASA. It was like in the 1960s movie.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, the actual person that she was playing, I guarantee that she was actually making more than a black male janitor at a school.
Yeah.
So that blanket statement that black men make more than black women, that's a privilege. Black men are the lowest paid in all ethnicity groups as far as males.
Yeah.
If you look at statistics. So, and again, you can measure that. What type of job? What type of job, what type of experience, what type of education. It's so many factors. So to say that's black male privilege, that's privilege. I don't want that. I'm not getting paid good enough, because I'm black, according to the statistics. When we were talking about, I forget, my manager on the blank, because there's so many. When we were talking about, it sounded like she was more mad as I was listening to it again.
Yeah.
Majority of that, like, I'm not even done, because I realized how long we was on that podcast, but, I said the first hour and spilling over was about, it sounded like she was more mad that, I guess, black women can't be deadbeat dads, or they don't get celebrated for doing the bare minimum for their kids like dads do, apparently. Mm-hmm. That's what it sounded like she was more mad about. Yeah. And that's not just black dads. This is dads in general. It's not. There are other races or ethnicities that have a dad not being in the house problem. It's not just black guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get to this, if you really want to get technical, hell, white men are the original deadbeat dads. You know what I mean? You said they was having black babies by their slaves and sell them.
Yeah.
So again, so is that really a privilege to be deadbeat?
No, sir.
I mean, that's not. If I can choose any privilege, I guarantee you, deadbeat is not on that list.
Yeah.
So that's what I kept getting from it. And when I know she got mad, because I said, okay, well, if you know a guy ain't shit in life, why are you fucking him? Yeah. Why you let him bust and do it raw inside you?
Yeah.
I understand. I get it. It's the guy's fault too. But he's a deadbeat. We know that. You're not supposed to be, right? So why are you letting him do that?
Yeah.
Those are conversations that you need to have. And then what I've experienced, but not me, because I never had to deal with nothing like this, thankfully. A lot of women I dealt with were more transparent with me, and we had a certain level of respect with each other.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to that. But a lot of my guys I had in college, they would have this conversation with the girl, like, hey, are you on the pill, for example? Or, I don't want to have no kids. So we do this. Are you going to take the plan B the next day? Something like that. Yeah. She's down for it until it happens.
Yeah.
A lot of my guys have kids because of that type of conversation. I warned them not to do it. I'm like, yeah, that sounds cute. But, she changed her mind. You can't do nothing else about it. Because, like I said in the first podcast, at that point, once the child is implanted in the woman, essentially the seed is there, in the woman. Mm-hmm. That's her choice whether or not she want to keep it or not. You can cry all day long as a guy, like, oh God, I hope she'll have this doggone baby.
Yeah.
Or, beg and plead. But if she don't want to bring that kid into the world, there's nothing you can do. That's what I was saying earlier about the whole abortion. I'm like, okay, if both of y'all was on the same wavelength, you could have easily got an abortion.
Yeah.
And she tried to say, like, well, a woman can deal with depression and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, what is postpartum depression?
After the baby.
And men can go through postpartum depression as well. So I'm not sure she was aware of that, but I listened to a lot. Yeah, and I've listened to a lot of the podcasts. I didn't get all the way through it before you all called me this time. I'm still waiting to hear, and I was listening to you because I was really waiting to hear where the privilege came in. I didn't hear any real strong points of privilege, like advantage. I didn't see where you can say anywhere where, okay, this is where they have an advantage. I do feel that maybe she had some other points that maybe she didn't get to, or I didn't get the opportunity to hear. As far as the parenting thing, wow. I think all three of you made some really valid points. I might think a little differently about some of the points that you all made, even down to the abortion and you should have pulled out and you shouldn't have had a baby by a deadbeat dad, da-da-da-da-da-da. It all boils down to accountability,
That's what,
from jump. Accountability. You can't go, well, she should have, and he should have, and they should have, and you should have made two lefts, and no, you should have made a right. It doesn't matter, because at the end of it, when it all comes down to it, everyone has to be accountable for whatever decisions that were made. So I'm not going to make you I'm not going to make you be a father and make you take care of your responsibilities. I'm not going to keep you from your child because that privilege was removed from me when God gave both of us this baby. I couldn't tell you. I didn't have the right to tell you that you couldn't be a father, just like you don't have the right to tell me that I couldn't be a mother, because God gave us both that privilege. Even if both of us or one of us chose to abort the baby, there's still accountability that the other person has from a decision that was made when we chose to be intimate. Yeah. So I'm not going to make you be the father that you should be. The only thing I can do is be accountable for being the best mother I can be. I won't talk bad about you to the kids or anything like that. I'm not going to take away the privilege that God has given you in becoming a father from you, because I don't have that right. I don't even have a right to judge your fatherhood. But in the sentence of accountability, come your day, the type of mother or father that you choose to be or not to be, you're going to have to answer to yourself, your child, and your God. So it doesn't matter what the other person is doing or not doing, or what they're paying and not paying. My mama told me, you don't ever want to have more babies than you can take care of, because you never know what life might deal you. You might have a perfectly healthy husband there helping you that might pass. Yeah. Then what? So you don't want to, you as a woman or as a man, you don't want to have more children than you yourself can care for, because you might wind up with that deadbeat mother. Yeah. So you want to be the best parent that you can be, and let them be held accountable for whatever type of parent that they're going to be. Don't judge them for the decisions they made, or the father or the parent that they are, the mother or the father that they are, because one, that's not your place, that is not your privilege, and that is not where you are to be accountable. It's not for you to be accountable for their parenting. Yeah. So you just do the best. You just be the best mother you can be. You can be the best father you can be, and let them one day be held accountable on their own terms. So, and I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. And okay, I agree with everything you just said. There's nothing I don't disagree with. When I was talking to the other lady from the first one, I think what my point when I was talking about the whole abortion thing is that if you're fully aware that this guy is not nothing, that means you should be aware that he's not going to help you. And if you don't feel like you fit or you need so much help to raise one kid, that's not fair to the kid. The kid didn't ask to be put into this. Like, we have a lot of broken homes already. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I was coming from. But apparently that took over the majority of the conversation because the whole logic of this, the whole black male privilege is, I didn't know I had black male privilege. Again, if anything, a missed opportunity that I should have asked her is just one question. Now, I'm pretty sure we all seen videos of a black girl hitting a black boy or a man, a black woman. She's hitting the black guy. She wailing on him. All he did was pop her bottom lip just to get her off of him. Everybody, mommy, ain't no reason why you should hit a woman, dog. And then now they want to fight him. That's privilege. A woman can hit a guy, but it's looked down when he hit her back. It can be a self-defense. I ain't talking about abuse. I'm just talking about him defending himself. Yeah. And that's looked at that's privilege. I think differently about that, even those situations as well. Because my mama told me, let me take that back. My mama and my daddy, because I was raised in a household with both my parents, still to this day, they're still together. We don't hit anybody and expect not to get hit back.
That's common sense.
Period.
But
so if you don't want nobody to hit you, don't hit anybody. And I run into a situation where now I have two black men that I'm raising, and I have to prepare speeches for them like, baby, if this woman is putting her hands on you, you want to remove yourself from the situation, because that's a setup for you, because as soon as even if you just shake the shit out of her, you won't.
Yep. And that's what I would call a privilege. That the opposite. That's more of a privilege for the girl. I'm not talking about for him. And it don't have to be like ethnicities. Like it could just be genders.
Yeah.
Like that's when, like I said, when we put color in, it's like, I mean, that's every case. Like I said, there's so many stories where guys got locked up because, like you said, all he did was just push her off of him. But but they consider that putting his hands on her. He got scratches and all that, but all he did was push her off, and he's the one that go to jail. That's when you can talk about privilege if you're gonna try to talk about some type of privilege. But I mean, that's where I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. If I did, I'm sorry. That's where I was coming from. Like that's just if anything, that's privilege.
Now, Shy,
Shy,
if you could, what are your thoughts about black male privilege? What's your take on that?
I really wanted to hear what her points were.
Recruiters, reduce your cost per candidate by about 50% with CareerBuilder. We connect you to qualified, diverse candidates at every stage of the hiring funnel. CareerBuilder Talent Acquisition Suite. Software packed with talent. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.
As far like what she considers privilege, even to the point where I actually looked up the definition of privilege, so I can make sure that I understood what it meant, because what I might think is privilege might not be what is actually defined as. And by definition, I don't see where black men have privilege. I think more her point was more of I think maybe she misused the word privilege. I think it's more of a mama's baby theory, which I strongly agree exists. I think more so that was more where she was trying to go. Or
I'm sorry, what's the mama's baby? I just want to make sure I know. So I can keep up. I'm sorry. What's the mama's baby theory? It's like I have an idea, but I just want to make sure I'm on the same page. That's all.
Like it's when a woman has a child, there's no questioning parentage. Oh, this ain't my baby. No, that's definitely your baby. And that from jump, I think sometimes sets a foundation for how we think about parenting. I think a lot of men tend, like I've heard 1,000 times over, I'm tired of babysitting. These are your kids, like where they do that at, and when am I off? Because I want to know when my babysitting term is over. So, I think that's more where she was leaning towards that, and a lot of men operate in that manner. Not all, but I think a lot of men do. And there's always the
Hello.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe her phone.
Did we lose her?
Yeah, I think we lost her.
Oh, okay.
Let me hold on. I don't know how we lost her. But
I wish that I talked to her at the beginning. That's the part one.
yeah, that'd have been great. Well, I don't know why our son we was chopping up, man. She said, I would love to be on one of your panels. I said, really? So, all right, hold on. Let me get it back on the line. Here, she calling right now. Hold on. Hello? Hold on, Shy. Let me merge this back.
okay.
All right. Go ahead and finish, Shy.
I'm sorry, my grandpappy hung us up.
That's all good.
And it's more of a custodial parent thing, but most of the time, in the majority of cases, the custodial parent is the mother.
Yeah.
And for that parent, there's no breaks. That's your baby. That's your everything. So, and that's more so when she was I think where she was leaning to, which again I think still boils down to accountability, because but I've seen fathers that are like the best of fathers, and they aren't custodial parents, but they'll pick the child up every day from school, take them to all their football practices, make sure they bathe and fed by the time they bring them home for school the next day. So. Right. But that's where the mama's baby theory essentially comes from. It's always mama's baby, and typically it's been known that fathering, or it's been assumed that fathering is optional.
Okay. Got you. I understand. Now I got you. I say this to my fiance all the time. I be joking with her because we'll watch, like, for example, Paternity Court or something like that. We may be bored, and I'm like, you know what they say? Daddy baby, mommy maybe. She's like, really? And so I always mess with her about that. So now I get what you said. But and I'm glad that you actually looked at the definition of privilege, because I had to look it up after listening to that first podcast. I'm like, maybe I have a different definition in my head.
Yeah.
And so, when I looked it up, I was like, okay, this is definitely not privilege. Anybody can be a deadbeat. It's actually easy to do. The hard part is actually being an active parent in your child's life. That's the hard work. The easy part is just like, fuck this kid. And that's the easy part to walk away. Like I said in the podcast, being a deadbeat is not only exclusive to dads. And since we're putting color to it, black dads, there are a lot of deadbeat mothers too. It's not like, oh man, only black dads are deadbeats.
Right. And actually, if we were speaking in terms of privilege, women actually have privilege when it comes to parenting. Like a man, if he wants to assume custody of his child, that's a right he has to fight for, although it's already given to the mother.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's what I said in the last podcast. And it was a rebuttal against that. Apparently we live in a different day and time, so that doesn't exist no more.
No, it exists, and I have actually helped some fathers gain their rights from deadbeat mothers. Like, I had a friend, he brought his babies home from the hospital. He raised his 2 kids, and he still paid child support for children that are not living with him because it's mandated. That are living with him. He takes care of them every day, but his child's mother gets child support for kids that she's not even raising.
Wow.
But Corey, I didn't say that particular example, but that's not the first time I heard something like that. That's what I said in the first podcast. I was like, the mother normally wins when it comes to family court.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for the mother to lose.
Yeah. But that makes it black or white. It's not exclusive color. Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what privilege do maybe I need to study or something. I don't know.
So what other points did she make? She said wages, which even on that
she didn't even go into that in detail.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry, I didn't even cut you off. That's what she didn't go into that in detail. She was talking about wages briefly. She brought it up when she got tired of talking about deadbeat dads. And then she brought up, when black men die, everybody cares, but they don't want to care about when a black woman dies. That was the next point that she brought up. And what I missed, I should have said, like, why would somebody gotta die for you to care? Those were the main 3 points. Maybe if I missed something, Courtney, definitely let me know if I missed something.
Well, my thing was, like I told her before offline, you know, that if the fact of the matter is he's dead, so there's no privilege involved. If there was privilege involved, then you would see where black men's life will get spared and black women will get shot like dogs. No, we all getting shot like dogs. We all getting hung like dogs. So,
and statistically, more black men get killed anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's right. I'm not trying to. That's one sense. I'm not trying to win. But when I looked it up, it was saying more black men get killed than black women.
Yeah.
So I guess that's our privilege. We get killed by cops more than black women, I guess.
And one of the things we spoke about when we spoke about the economic aspect, I told her that the average black man in America average salary is like $40,000. So, you know, we spoke about that. And, you know, like I said before, when I ended the podcast, I think we all are in total agreement that there's no such thing as black male privilege. There's no, I mean, it just does not exist, you know? But I think where, like, you know, I think where the divide was that we really didn't have a lot of statistical data, because my thing was with the privilege, both of y'all say y'all looked it up. What was the definition of privilege?
You want to go first?
Basically favor. You're you're shown some type of favor or
preferential treatment.
Preferential treatment.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the example I gave her was because I'm a veteran, a lot of companies give veterans preferential treatment. So that would be privilege. And I don't remember her saying, I don't think she agreed with that. Like I said, I could be wrong, but
she didn't say nothing. I remember that's the part I heard. She didn't really comment on that. And this is the exact definition, because Shadi was right. A special right, advantage, or immunity granted, or available only to a particular person or group. So being a deadbeat is not only, you know, exclusive to black men or men in general.
Nah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but yeah, of course, that's the definition.
No, man. You know, I'm glad that.
I want to talk about the wages, because I disagree with that.
Okay, go ahead.
But I think it's just a known fact. I don't think that's a black thing. I think men make more than women. Same skill set, same position, same experience. You know, everything exactly the same. A man would make more, and that's statistically everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is true.
Like you said, that's not a black thing.
Yeah, it's not a black thing, no. It's a male-female thing, and even the parenting thing is more of a male-female thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to. I mean, I'm not sure if she would. Like, I'm sure, because she said it was. I did hear the portion when she said that's just the tip of the iceberg. That she had other examples, so that's why I was.
No, that was the whole iceberg. That was the whole iceberg. Like that shit was a damn icicle. That wasn't a damn iceberg. That was an icicle. Like no. That was the main point. So my thing is, if you're gonna come and say that somebody have more of a privilege, for example, if we talk about white privilege versus, you know, everybody else, we can come up with a whole list with no problem. We can start off with, y'all had a privilege of having generational wealth while my ancestors were slaves. Like stuff like that. Those are hardcore facts.
Yeah.
You're more likely as a white man to get a job over a black man.
Yeah.
And if you're a black man getting tried for the same court, for the same case as the white man, the black man's gonna get more time. Get punished more severely.
Yeah.
Those are facts that we know.
That's right.
And that was easy to come out with. But, and that ain't so much I'm talking about general. But for you to say that, oh well, black men have privileges, but you only talking about being a deadbeat or the wage gap, which is not exclusive to only black people, like we all agree on. charges in court.
No.
So I'm really confused on that. And she also was talking about at one point how I don't want to misquote it, but basically saying black women date down, has to date down, or some crap like that. And I'm like, that's funny because that's a privilege for you to say. Women can date down, but if a guy say that same thing, oh my God, he be crucified. Well, why does she have to be objectified to just money? He has more to the table. I've heard this is why, like, I've heard people like really get mad about this. Like, don't guys don't go around and say, "Hey, I'm making more than my girl, so I'm dating down."
Yeah.
Well,
man, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Speak on it, Shaw. What you got to say about that?
Looking for your next great hire? CareerBuilder is the fastest growing job site in the U.S. with over 140 million candidate profiles and growing. Plus, candidates on CareerBuilder have skills for the most in-demand occupations. Let us help you rebuild and rehire a strong, more diverse workforce fast. CareerBuilder, we're building for you. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.
Today's capital projects call for the highest degree of visibility. That's why you need construction project management software from N8. This is software that integrates every aspect of your project and puts you in control. Our cloud-based solutions provide a connected data flow that improves efficiency and guides better outcomes across the entire project lifecycle. See what N8 software can do for you for your next construction project. Learn more at N8.com. That's INEIGHT.com.
You said a lot.
Okay.
There were a lot of points.
Let's talk about black women dating down. What is your thoughts about that?
Is that a privilege to be? I'm sorry. Can I ask you that? Because I'm never doubt that black women don't date down or nothing like that. I'm just saying as far as like, well, black men don't date down either. I'm just saying like how it's received differently when either one side say that. Well, like a black man saying it versus a black woman saying that.
I don't know because I think highly of myself, but I don't think so less of the next person that I would ever think that I'm dating down.
Okay.
Especially if it's someone that I show interest in. So I'm not sure exactly how you want it. So I don't know what dating down means because what does that mean? Or how
apparently,
down.
From what I've always heard from people, dating down is more of finances. So, for example, if the woman is a CEO and she dating down because she's dating the janitor who's working part-time, and that's the source of income. That's dating down from what my knowledge of that definition means.
Okay.
And so that's what I said. Like it's because apparently that's the case. A lot of guys do that. But I was cracking up. I'm like, man, what if guys would just walk around like, man, I'm dating down, versus a woman saying the same exact thing. How good or bad that will be received?
I know. It just off the top of my head, I have 3 close friends that are well into 6 figures that just want a man that's good to them.
Right.
You know, like just be good to me. Don't make me have to chase you. Don't make me have to worry about if you're being faithful. You know, I don't care how much. Clearly, I got my finances good. You know, so
and that's your value. Yeah.
Yes, that's not well.
That's they value that more than, like you said, like the guy making 6 or 7 figures because they just want somebody to treat them right, value them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
You might have that man that's making 6 figures and you're only making $20,000, but you're going to have to hold your weight in other ways. Please know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are going to be expectations either way. To whom much is given, much is expected. So
exactly.
In that case, you shouldn't ask anyone for more than you have to give, unless you all have talked about that and there's an understanding. Yeah, I know I make $100,000 and you only make 20. But baby, if you could just make sure when that sink leak that it's taken care of, you know, we gonna have our balance in our relationship, whether it's finances, emotional, whatever it may be. Whatever balance we find in our relationship is what it should be. So again, I don't really understand the dating down theory, and I'm not sure whether it's because, you know, I'm gonna be 43, so I'm a little bit more seasoned. But you just, to me, that's immature thinking.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. Well, I mean, I can speak for myself. I can speak for every guy, obviously. But even with my fiance, Corey know this, and we talked about the first podcast. This was part one of this. But briefly, me and my girl went through the trenches together. We met in college. We went through the trenches together. She saw when I had it, and basically when it all depleted, and we just grinded together. I got an opportunity that I've been trying to get for 2 years to work at a Fortune 500 company. And at that point, I told her, like, hey, you don't have to worry about nothing. We good. So I want you to just relax, unwind, get yourself together. I knew she wasn't going to do that subconsciously because she's just as ambitious as me. But I just want her to know that the option was there. And she was able to go ahead and flourish on her own. She has her own business. She does taxes. She does a lot of stuff, and she's actually profitable with that. I never once with her had the mindset, I'm dating down. Even if she decided she didn't want to do no business, she just wanted to be all about me. I would not have a problem with that. That's certain values to me, because while I'm at work, she did stuff before she even started her own business. She was making sure my business was good. Because if it wasn't for her, my business would not have grown to be as successful as it is now. If it wasn't for her. Yeah. And her value. I'm sorry?
You're so privileged.
I know, right? Yep, you're right. No, I accept that privilege. That's the privilege I like.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. Like, like you said, I was privileged enough to have her to make sure my business was good while I was working, because I was working 10, 11-hour shifts and come home to my business. But during that 10, 11-hour shift, if a customer had an issue with something, I wasn't able to really get to that person. My fiance was able to go ahead and just do it.
Yeah.
There was no problem. There was no question. There was nothing. If I'm like, hey, babe, I'm hungry when I get home, you know, I'm cooking something. And she'd give me crap sometimes, because I will wait till like the hour before I'm about to leave, because I didn't think about it until that moment. But she would do it with no problem. Yeah. To me, that's value. That's something that I wouldn't be strong with. That I wouldn't have as much this fast if it wasn't for her. Yeah. And that's value to me. So she wouldn't have to make $1 for me to be like, oh no, I'm dating down. No, if anything, I feel like I hit the jackpot. Yeah. To this day, I feel like that's since college. So nothing's changed. That's a partnership. That's something that's how you grow with somebody.
So let's talk about this. What about when black men meet a woman that's already established? You don't have to grow with her. Mm-hmm. She's already grown. Yeah. Why is there it seems like there's an intimidation to even approach her or to be in a relationship with her? Like I said earlier, me and my friends we have the most difficult time even getting men to approach us. Like, seriously.
That's because, no, I get that. I've heard that a lot, actually. That's from the circles that my fiance, she's first of all, I'm going to say seasoned women, compared to our age. and they say the same thing. And I feel, and Cordy, I mean, if you feel different, please let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're insecure. With me personally, a woman that has her own, making her own, or even just trying to get her own, I'm more turned on by that. And if she already have her own, it pushes. For me, I'm competitive, but not like bad competition. Like I'm trying to sabotage you. But I look at myself like, okay, if my woman doing this, I gotta do this too. I'm not gonna let her just carry the load by herself.
Yeah,
that's where I'm coming from. It's not gonna be no hate stuff like you still gotta go to work though. It's not that. It's more I gotta get up to that level.
Yeah,
you know. But I feel like a lot of guys are insecure. Well, they know they don't have their stuff together, and they feel intimidated just because they got their value to you or your friends, or it's just how much they have in their pocket. Because a lot of guys, that's what you're taught. You're taught that you got to pay the money. And if you don't, that's what I said in the first podcast. A lot of times, a lot of society don't respect the man that's making less than his woman, especially if he's just laying up at the house. So
where does
I'm not
black women?
So you let me.
Yo. I'm about to mess with. I was like, well, quit being so goddamn successful. I'm gonna tell you, Shy. I think the reason why a lot of black men are somewhat intimidated, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's intimidation, but I think that and I'm not solely blaming it on the media, but I think that a lot of times men go off the media where they see, where black women are highlighted as making good money, having good careers, and especially if you're a single guy out here, a lot of times sisters especially get a bad rap as far as saying, I got a degree, I got this, I got my own, I don't need a man. And I think men have subconsciously got that in their psyche, so they're very apprehensive about approaching you. And unfortunately, some women are gonna have to just kick off the conversation.
You know what? I agree with everything you said, but from a different perspective. Okay. Because there has been a rash promotion of the independent woman.
Yeah.
Yay, I'm an independent woman. I don't want to be. There's no glory in being an independent woman.
Yeah.
Like, yes, for me, this is my own personal thoughts. Like, I want my man to feel needed. He might not need to feel needed financially, but I still want him to feel needed. And and black men especially, they need to feel needed.
Oh my God.
And so what the whole push of the independent woman has done is promoted this theory of now I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you. Well, that breaks down a black man's psyche. Well, you don't need me, and that's the only thing I really need for you to do is need me. Yeah. Because that's the way you show me love is, hey, you love me because you need me. But so that whole rash of the independent woman thing that kind of killed that whole I need you.
Yeah.
But we need to rearrange those thoughts to tell our black men, I might be good financially, but I need you to support me mentally. I need you to support me physically. Yeah. I need you to support me, in other ways. I still need you. And so when you're intimidated because, I might drive this type of car, or you might just look at me and assume, now mind you just looking at me. You might assume that I got my shit together, instead of taking that chance to approach me and actually think that I might need you for anything.
I agree. Wow. I 100% agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
Hey, when you come out with a book, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and be a supporter on this one. Because, man, But that's true.
But I'm like I've never been married.
Yeah.
So how much does anything that I say, like how much weight does it hold from a woman that's never been married? You know, so the only perspective that I could give you is from a single woman.
Yeah.
Now I could give you 1,000 reasons on why I'm not married or excuses. A lot of it were choices that I made pertaining to my children.
Yeah.
But I have to also understand, and this was a conversation that I had with my daughter, is, you know, it's easy to love someone. You know, that it's so easy to love or be in love with someone. That's so easy. It's hard to tolerate people. You know, that's where the hard part comes in. Like, oh man, you mean I got to tolerate this every time you leave the seat up? You know, like every time you got to put the clothes off, you know. So it's easy to be in love. It's really, really, really hard to find someone that you can tolerate. And where we get thrown off sometimes as Black women is that we have our non-tolerables, and we go, no, I don't want him to do this, and he got to be able to do this, and he got to do this, and he got to do that. Well, when you get older in age, you realize that some of those non-tolerables was preventing you from your ultimate blessing.
Yeah.
In my case, I didn't want being around my children. I didn't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
That was not a chance that I was willing to take. So I always forced a man to try to love me for the portion that I'm going to give you. You can have this piece of me right here, but this is all you get because my kids come first, second, third, sixth. And then comes their sports and whatever it is, and then comes their activities for the next day. But you got me from 11 to 5 until they wake up. in my computer. I mean, like, seriously, we're grown, you know, so that's right. But now I find myself seasoned, older in life, and I'm like, okay, well, this is the real situation that I'm facing and that's why I was curious as to what y'all were going to say. Well, why is there so much intimidation just to get a man to approach me? Now, I get this little 19-year-old boy that'll come up to me with all the confidence.
Yeah, you know, that's so funny because that you say that, because that's when I met my girl when I was 19, and that's why we didn't date, because I was too confident. I was cocky as ever. I was like, man, you gonna fall in love with me. Granted, I was right, but it took some time for that to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you ain't gonna say, you gonna be like, oh my God, I can't live without you. And she was like, wow, you're cocky. Well, I'm kind of glad it did happen that way because we had a strong friendship. So, and then it grew into it more than, because I had my way, she's like, more like, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, I got it, whatever. At that age, yeah. But yeah, they cocky. They feeling themselves. They probably live in their mama basement or out their mama house.
There is nothing at all that a 19-year-old can do for me that I'm pretty sure I can't do better for myself. So
I agree. I 100% agree.
No. But if they go home and get their daddies, maybe I'll be something to talk about. But I can't even get them to approach me. So I was just curious with all the privilege that you all carry, because that is a privilege. Because, like you say, a woman might have to pick up the conversation. I mean, I smiled. I looked at you and I smiled. To me, that's your goal. You know.
Well, let me say this. Something else is pre-COVID. You know, now that COVID-19 is happening, a lot of people not really hanging out like they used to, but a lot of men today, even in the 30 on up age group, 40 age group, a lot of them are socially awkward. So you know, you got to take that. You have to take that into consideration. Of course, I'm not saying, you know, that like, I mean, if Melissa was here, I would mess with her. You know, she always saying we babied and spoiled. But my thing, my thing is a lot of men are socially awkward, you know, and I know me personally, my wife approached me, you know, and that's, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a single guy, I approached women, but if a woman gave me choosing signals like smiling at me, okay, I know, okay, yeah, she wanna holler at me. But you gotta look at, this is 15, 16 years ago. You know, times have changed and people are a little more apprehensive. I mean, it's a shame that people would rather date online before they do things in person, which is the craziest thing to me, but it's a different day and time. But I think, you know, because I personally know, I've been knowing Shy for a long time. I can personally verify she's very feminine. She can hold a great conversation. You know, until she told me how old she was, I knew she was in her 40s because of her children, but she doesn't look her age. So, you know, that's my only assumption. I could be wrong, but I've been out and about and I've seen, you know, people mix and mingle. And I just noticed that a lot of times, a lot of these guys, even men that are older than me, they're just socially awkward, you know. And I know for me personally, you know, my wife from Connecticut, so I always meshed well with people with women from the East Coast. So that could play a role in it, you know. But to answer your question, I think that, you know, number one, I know you say you smile at them, but a lot of times a lot of men today, you know, when I was coming up, it was kind of understood, you know, go ahead and get ready for rejection. But a lot of men, a lot of men don't want to deal with that. But that's you know, like think about it. Being a man, I come from the generation where a man, it's okay if you get rejected. It's okay if a chick told you no. Go to the next one. But for some reason, a lot of these brothers today don't like the word no. They don't like.
I had a deadbeat dad. I got rejected by him. That's why I don't want to get rejected by nobody else. I got rejected by my dad. You know, that's, you know. And actually, Cordy, you actually right. And you inspired me. I'm about to literally go break up with my fiance, right? I'm gonna see if she get back with me, so I can have that. I can have that privilege. You know? I want to be privileged.
I do agree. I have to admit, I do look younger.
Yeah.
Than I actually am, and I do take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And that's why I always give the smile first. And I can usually tell if they're questioning my age.
Yeah.
Like, they'll usually give you a look like, okay, you cute, but how old are you? You can usually feel that they're trying to do the math. So then that's when I usually offer up some statement to place my age. Like, yeah, I just had to come to the store and get this 6-pack of beer for my grandbaby.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, okay, Stella. All right, let me go ahead and help you get your groove back. But that's me back before. I know my fiance can listen to this. This is if I was single. Not now. When I was single. I don't want to get killed when she hear this.
Please don't.
Yeah. And
I literally do that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I refuse to do any more than that because at some point I believe in the old word of courting.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, I've done my best in answering your two questions. Yes, I'm interested. You got the smile, and yes, I'm of age. I mentioned I have a grandbaby. So from there on, what else happens from there? Now, if you tell me, all right, well, have a nice day, well, I'm going to walk off. You know, I'm not this woman to approach a man. I'm not going to do that.
Well, Shy, that's where you got to get out your comfort zone a little bit. I'm not saying you got to go up to a dude and be like, hey, what's up, man? You sexy. I want to holler at you. But, you know, like I said, the thing about being a man. But the thing about being a man, like I had to tell a brother at work, he was, he's kind of one of those guys that a woman smile at him, he immediately get giddy and think that she want to holler at him. And I said, well, man, you got to be careful, because in the workplace, some women are just friendly. It's not that they're trying to holler at you. Yeah, they're just friendly. Yeah. So that's why I say, and outside and like I said, men nowadays, we are so conditioned to be like, hey, I'm kind of scared of this Me Too. I don't want nobody to Bill Cosby me. I mean, there are a lot of factors that men have, especially when you start making over, let me say, 70, 80 grand a year, you now start to have shit to lose. So you're gonna be like, look here, this chick wanna holler at me, she gotta, like I said, my wife came on to me. I didn't come on to her. She liked me, she showed interest in me, and once I saw that, okay, well, I'll show interest back in you. So that's why I say, but back then it wasn't no Me Too, it wasn't none of this, it wasn't no sexual harassment like it is. At least I never been in that predicament. But I think that unfortunately, that's what it's gonna take, because remember, you come from a different era. Like you said, you smile at a brother, and a brother kind of know, yeah, she want to holler at me. But with nowadays, it ain't the same, because, a chick could smile at you, and especially most of us spend a lot of our time at work now. That's just the world we live in. So when you in the workplace and you've been so conditioned to know, okay, yeah, just because she smile at me doesn't mean she want to holler at me, when that very could be the reason why, but because it's so much things in place, and if you do this, you get fired. If you do that, that's one of the reasons why a lot of men are especially black men, we're very apprehensive, because, man, once we get something, we're like, man, I'm finally making the money I want, man. I can't fuck this up, man. I can't mess it up. I cannot mess it up. So, in so many ways, huh?
I said I understand that.
So that's why I say in the bar setting, or I don't want to say the bar, but the setting you and your friends at, you may have to, approach a little bit, be like, hey, I think how you doing, handsome? Oh, okay, she called me handsome, Of course, I mean, I don't know if people use that word anymore, but that's how, I'm not telling you to come out and be like, hey, what's up, man? Let me get some of that dick, but you can be like, hey, how you doing? I mean, like I said.
Let me tell you something else.
What's up?
White men approach me all the time. No problem.
Yeah.
All the time, flawlessly. Hey, beautiful, how you doing? Can I buy you? All the time. White men just effortlessly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why the brother over there couldn't holler at me the same way as this white man? Because as soon as I give him my time, now you over there mad.
Yeah. True.
That's not what I'm supposed to say. Yes, sir. Not supposed to say, yeah, you're right.
No, you're right.
I mean, you're right. I can't even say nothing to that. Like, I guess I've never been, I ain't gonna say never been. Once I got my confidence, in high school, to talk to girls, I didn't care how old you was. Like, I was like, man, girl, your grandma look good. Like, that's how much my confidence was. Even though I was gonna get rejected, like Courtney said, I'm cool with that. But at least I already know that you're not interested. Then he like, dang, I should have hollered at her. I should have said something to her.
Yeah. So,
like, to me, that's the worst feeling.
Confidence. When do y'all lose their confidence?
And some people can't take rejection the right way.
Some people can't take. Some people.
Like what he said.
Yeah, some men can't take rejection. I mean, it's like I said. I come from the school where, hey, if you give 10 hollers, out of 10 hollers, you're gonna get at least one number, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. But a lot of men, and the thing about this thing where a lot of men understand, hey, if I have a good career, I have the money, the women should come. But what they don't understand is there still has to be a bit of charisma involved. And then you have a lot of men. If you watch, like I watch a lot of YouTube, and a lot of times these men are, hey, I'm going overseas because there are no cooperative black women. But then when they get overseas, they figure out, man, I still have to be a provider, but at least my dollar goes a little further. And I'm just like, so you're gonna, like a lot of people say, man, you could have got that same woman in the U.S. But the fact of the matter is, go ahead, Darius.
So I'm saying, I'm agreeing with that. You could have. I mean, it's a lot of black women that are looking for, for example, that's successful as Shar, no matter the age, that's looking for a guy that would this guy would travel across the world to go find somebody when all he had to do was just go to the bar and talk to Shai and be like, "Hey, beautiful." But again, like you said, people take rejection a certain way. I know with, like Courtney said, like every 10 no's, you're gonna get one yes.
You're gonna get one yes.
Now,
so you had the confidence to approach your future wife when you were 19. You had that much confidence. Do you feel now, if you was a single man, you would have that same confidence?
Oh yes, it's gonna be worse. It'll be worse.
You don't have that same confidence?
That'd be worse because now I'm way more successful than I was at 19. Yeah. You know, so now now she have money too.
You're more confident now because you're more successful?
Yeah, I'm more successful, but the reason why I'm talking about. Say it again.
I said I'm gonna give him a chance because he's saying like now he will be more confident.
I'm saying I'd be even more. Even if I didn't have the money, I'd still be confident because I still like Corey said, we from that era where if you say no to me, that's cool, but at least I tried. Yeah. At least I put myself out there. I'm not afraid of rejection. I got rejected so many times in high school because I wasn't the popular guy. I wasn't being seen. That's basically what it came down to. But
1, 2, 3, 4.
For everyone's safety, Vermont requires a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test, or 14 days with no test to visit this winter.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
We're also recommending you take the time to do some extra squats, lunges, wall sits, or high knees.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
With reduced lift and lodge capacity, you're going to have a lot more time to spend on the slopes. So take the time to get your legs ready.
38, 39, 40.
Vermont in winter. It's worth the wait.
1, 2, 3.
This winter, plan your trip. Don't trip up your plans. Talk to your favorite inn or resort about smart travel suggestions and reservation policies. For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
16, 17.
Did you know you could shop around for prescription prices? With GoodRx, you can find free coupons at over 70,000 pharmacies and save up to 80%. It's that easy. But don't just take my word for it. Dr. Adam says, I've been telling all my patients about GoodRx. Jacqueline says, my medication was $65 without insurance, but I paid $25. Aubriana says, you don't have to pay full price to live your best life. Couldn't have said it better myself. GoodRx is 100% free. Download the GoodRx app today and start saving. GoodRx is not insurance.
Was getting girls the right. You guys, my parents was even concerned because I was going on dates with different girls like every week or every other week, and that did not stop when I got to college. It actually got worse because I actually had more freedom. Yeah. But I obviously I slowed down, but still at the same time, if I see something I want, I'm going to go talk to that. And I'm not gonna say it like I'm saying like anything. So that includes a woman that I find attractive. The worst thing you can tell me is I'm married, but you could be my mistress, or I'm interested, or no. That's the worst. Actually, no. No, and I'm married, but my husband gonna be out of town. So let me make one bad decision in life.
A lot. I know you're probably, but you know that's really a line. Hey, I'm married, but hey, you could be an awesome mistress.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But
I agree with you. Call your wife and let's see if she agrees.
All right, cool. That's. Yeah. Now, if he was smart, what he'd do is like hit up one of his female friends, like, hey, pretend like you my wife real quick, or like my sisters, like I'd have done something. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, don't worry. Let me see if she's available. Hey, what's up, sister? Hey, you mind being pretend like you my wife right quick? Hey, there you go.
See how y'all do?
And you would be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess your wife is cool with it. You would have been thrown off by it, because I'm pretty sure no other guy thought of that. And even if you still saying no,
like it might have been Will, and he might have been Jada, and Jada might have been like, "Yeah, girl, go ahead." See?
Yeah, see?
I might have got caught up in a Will and Jada situation, which is in an entanglement. I might have got caught up in an entanglement. No.
Well, I would have been smart enough not to deal with an artist, so you wanted to worry about releasing those songs coming out about you. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But yeah, no, I mean,
y'all think that lack of confidence, I guess is more I'm getting to, because y'all say a lack of confidence, or that's why men don't approach me. So we're talking about an entire generation of men.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know how to talk to women.
Because white men approach me, Hispanic men approach me, it's only black men. So at what age do men become less confident, I guess?
I guess I need to get to that age, I guess, because I don't know. I mean, I guess if life beats you up enough from you getting rejected, or I don't know.
No, like.
Well, you gotta remember a lot of
like, it's not even like I could say it's a particular class of men, or you know, it's not like you're saying, oh, the wealthy black men don't approach me, or the janitor is not approaching, like none of them. So I guess
you got me by like 5 years, so maybe you.
Well, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you, a lot of men, even in their 40s, you'd be surprised that there are a lot of 40-year-old virgins out here. There are a lot of guys who are just. I mean, we work with them. There are a lot of socially awkward old men. I mean, I'm not making this up. There are guys who have never been married.
That's true.
They've never had kids. They have no desire to have kids. They have no. Like I said, I want to say black men are the most unmarried men in America.
Right.
Yeah.
So
are the black women.
Yeah. So what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So and then when you couple that along with Me Too and sexual harassment at the workplace, you know, brothers especially are on their guard. I mean, you know, even I can remember, like Darius said, we work at a Fortune 500 company, and I've been with this company since I was in my early 20s, getting out the army, and I left and I came back, but now I'm not a union guy, I'm a salary guy. So now I play things a little bit differently, and Darius will tell you that. I mean, I play the game way differently because now I have more to lose. So I have to be on my guard 24/7 because one, you know, I don't want, you know, and you know, even with female interaction at work, I'm very careful I'm very strategic in how I do it because I don't want women to get the wrong idea. Number one. Number two, a lot of times if you're too friendly with some women, they take that as a choosing signal because you're like, okay, well, I wasn't trying to holler at you. I'm just being friendly also. And then you gotta look at the same token. A lot of women are not used to getting told no. So when you as a woman are like, damn, dude, don't want to holler at me. Is it me? No, it's not you. It's just psychologically. That's what men have in that. Especially like I said, that's what men have in the head. I mean, I've seen at work a white guy flirt with a girl and nothing happened. I was like, now if my black ass would have said that, I would be in HR right now. And I've seen it. So that's why I'm like, what the fuck? But, you know, it's just, like I said, that's what it boils down to. And, you know, and a lot of men, like I said before, you know, when they get a little older, you know, the older you get, you know, as a man, you know, statistically, you accumulate more wealth. And in your mind, you're like, are these, because I can tell you right now, prior to, you know, I haven't been to the cigar shop like I used to in probably about 2 years. But I'm gonna tell you, the cigar shop, man, that is like if a single guy wants to get a woman, that's the place to go because you're gonna get women there. The majority of women there have good careers, make good money. They're probably empty nesters by now, or if they're young, they don't have any kids, or they have at least one kid. And when you at the cigar shop, women are there like looking, for the most part, women are there looking for a man. And I would say from my experience, the majority of men at the cigar shop, most of us married. That's our getaway to get out the house. And these women know that. So, you know, but at the same token, there are still single men there. But I've seen people hook up at the cigar shop. I've seen people get married because of that. So that's you know, you got to look at where you hanging out at. And also something that plays a big role into it is that, like I said before, you know, where you socially interacting at, you know, because at the end of the day, I can tell you right now, at a cigar lounge, if a brother there, if a brother at a cigar lounge, he usually make pretty good money, or he usually has a successful business, because smoking cigars can be a costly habit. So that's something that's one place I can tell you where women are at I mean, I remember I was at one lounge in Addison, and this sister there, we you know, my coworker, he went with me. He wanted to smoke cigars, and he was a young guy. And this lady, she was gorgeous, beautiful sister. She was like a project manager for Hilton, and you know, me and her was chopping it up, and we got to talking about black relationships and things like that. And this cat, man, he just ruined the whole mood. And I wasn't trying to holler at her, but I'm like, yo, man, why don't you try to holler at this lady? He started talking about black bitches, this. I'm like, yo, bro, this ain't the spot for that, dog. I'm looking at him like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Wow. So, you know, he pretty much was like, F you, you know, and the lady was like, you know, this is what I got to deal with as a single woman, stuff like this. This is what I deal with. I'm like, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. You know, and I mean, it's like I said, that's my best answer for you is lack of confidence, you know. And like I said before, but that's one spot I know be hard to do though. You can find a single man, and you know, like I said before, that's one spot, you know. And like I said before, I just to answer your question is the lack of confidence, plain and simple. A lot of guys people just don't like rejection, you know?
Yep, and I'm glad that I wasn't cursed with that. Because I would have missed out on a lot of great things in my life.
Yeah.
So do you think is black male privilege that it's more acceptable for a black man to date a white woman than a black woman to date a white man?
No. I don't think so.
Hell no.
You can ask Courtney. I'm always for blacks dating with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just me. I don't think it's acceptable. I mean, either way, because both sides have a history of killing our ancestors. Either white woman's lying on a black man saying that she got raped when she didn't, and he got hung, and they killed more people because of that. I mean, the Tulsa riot was a result of a black or a white woman lying.
Yeah.
And the history of black women with white men, I mean, introducing light-skinned people. So, you know, I mean, that was definitely great. Hell, Thomas Jefferson was known to have a slave, and they had kids together.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, personally, I don't get me. This is my personal opinion. If you know the history of your people, your ancestors, why would you go that route? But some people are like, well, that's the past. Like, no, that's still going on now. Like, I mean, I just saw on the news thing that somebody got hanged. Black girls got hanged in McKinney, Texas.
Yeah.
So apparently that's not too far in the past.
And my whole take on that. Here's my thing. I'm not at my current state in life. I'm not as hard on interracial dating as far as a black woman with a white man and a black man with a white woman. My whole thing is, don't forget your identity and don't forget who you are.
Exactly. That's what they always do. They always want to put down. They want to find a reason why they're dating a white man or a white woman. Well, black women have attitudes. So do white women. A lot of women have attitudes. Black men don't want to work. There are a lot of white guys who are broke as hell that's on Section 8 too.
I mean,
what is your point?
Darius can personally verify. No, I'm saying you can personally Darius can verify. It's a white lady I work with, and I always call her cuz. And anyway, she cool, but pretty much her husband makes less than she does. He went out and bought a new car knowing they couldn't afford it. And she was telling me this, and I'm like, okay, now, if you look at the media, you're going to think that, you would think that black men make less than a woman, the woman taking care of. But this white woman is telling Darius they can't afford a new car. He went out and bought it. She wants him to make more money. He likes doing what he does. He wants to follow his passion instead of following the career. And she's sick of it. She literally...
And that's in relationships too. You want a black successful woman, be like, well, these black men ain't on my level. They will still get with a white trailer trash. For example, I don't know if y'all watch what's that? That's what Lonnie Love. But she's a black woman. She bashed a lot of black guys, even though she stated, I messed up a lot of good black men. She said this before, but now she's on interviews talking about some crying and stuff like. I just have to step outside my race and get me with a white man. He treat me so good. He's not even on her level financially. But she would look down on a black guy. If that dude was black, she looked down on him. Like you said, if you're gonna do it, don't forget who you are. Because at the end of the day, you're still black, and 9 out of 10, you're probably a fetish. So, because let's not get it twisted. Because I went to college with my fiance, like some of her former friends. They only date white guys. They don't bash black guys. I kid you not. Well, all they do is they just cheat. They don't take nothing serious. They still got played by white guys. It's the same thing. If he's a jerk or an asshole, it don't matter what color he or she is.
Yeah,
they're gonna be a jerk or an asshole. If you're white, one, Hispanic, Indian, whatever, it's gonna happen. So it's not about the color. If that's I want somebody to treat me right, I gotta go to the white side. When historically have white men treated black women great? I'm here.
No, because I
No, I'm talking beyond us Spanish, because y'all could be a mistress, but a lot of times they don't want to marry y'all.
Okay. I love black men. My children are by black men. I was engaged to a white man.
When?
Years ago. I was engaged to a white man.
Okay.
And I wanted to marry him not because he was white or not because I thought he was any better or that my relationship would be any better with him because he was white.
Mm-hmm.
Was in a relationship.
You're the first person actually heard say that and actually respect that more than what I've heard. Even Courtney Boyd was bashing black women to exalt his white woman. You're the first person I actually heard that said what you said. By the way, but go ahead.
I dated him and we were going to get married because he was good to me.
Yeah.
I think I could have found an equally black man that could have been good to me. So with me dating him and actually accepting his marriage proposal was because he was good to me.
Yeah.
And I love him and I know that he loved me. I definitely don't think that my relationship was any better or worse in how he treated me than a black man. No, I know I could have found a black man that would have treated me just as good and made me feel just as well. It just so happened he was white. So I don't feel like I was betraying anybody because I don't think it's anybody's business who I choose to love. Even if it was a female that I chose to love, which I don't. But I mean, I'm saying that who I choose to love is my business.
Yeah.
Whether they're black, white, male, female, green, purple, that's my choice because love is a choice. It's my choice on who I choose to love, and I don't think that's anybody's business. Where our relationship failed is that he was insecure. So that's where our relationship failed. And I can handle a lot of things. I can handle the looks that we got from everybody, black, white, whoever. I can handle that. We knew that would come. I was okay with that. But you have to be confident because we got enough other issues, so you can't be insecure on top of the other issues we have on us trying to be together. So, and he wasn't. So our relationship didn't end because he was white or because even we were in an interracial relationship. It ended because the man that I was dating was insecure.
Yeah.
But do I rate that relationship any higher or lower on the scale based off the fact that he was a white man? No. He still got the same standing as anybody else of my exes. You know, he has no white privilege in my relationship status. But that's my thought. And that's my personal experience. So even though I do understand what you're saying about the past and all of that, I get that, and I respect anyone's feelings on how they feel about that, because everybody has the right to feel however they feel. And you have, you know, if that's what you think, then that's your preference. If you only want to date black women, then that's fine. If you only want to date fat women, then you only date fat women. I think it's a preference, just like anything else. I like to try to date people that I think are going to be good to me, regardless of how they come. Rich, poor, broke, black, white, green. And at this point in my life, it's whoever tries to approach me, which is unfortunately not black men. But I know that if I were to ever go that route again to date a white man, that I would run into issues with my brothers, because now I'm betraying them because white men violated us for so many years.
Yeah?
Hello? Yeah.
Darius.
Yeah.
Did you hang up? Oh, yeah. Oh, it says still on there. Darius. Darius.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. My phone. Yeah, can you give me I see press the mute button on my phone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and respond to that.
There's nothing to respond. I mean, I agree with everything she said. Because the reason why I felt the way I felt, besides obviously history, because I mean, you know this, Courtney, and I'm pretty sure you know this too, Sha. A lot of times people, when they date interracially, they always got to pull down the male or the female in their own race or ethnicity. They don't never just say what you just said. I respect that more than, oh, well, because white men don't do this or white women don't do that. That's when you showing me it's not about love. You just want to get the hell out your race. But like I said, I can't say nothing at all. With everything you said. I mean, what can I say? Well, you should wait for them to holler at you. No, we got time for that. So I mean, I get it. So you ain't get no argument out of me on that one.
Well, I'm just
that's the first time I heard. That's the first time I ever heard somebody say that, to be honest with you. I always heard black men don't do this, white men do this better, same vice versa. White women don't do this, white women do this better than black women. Then versus, I actually just love this person, we met and I love him.
Yeah.
That's a completely different type of conversation. And that's what started making me feel, like I was saying, the way how you hear that for so long. You're like, okay, do you not remember the past? Like, you acting like you keep exalting these white figures, the white female and white men in your life, Like, they can't do no wrong. And a lot of times they're the same as your black counterpart. When it's their black counterpart. So it's like, I'm kind of confused on what's your infatuation with white skin. When versus, hey, I just love this person. Again, two different type of conversations. So
yeah, like I said,
you about to say something, Courtney?
Yeah, like I said before, I don't my Darius and my stance is similar, but then in so many ways it's different. Like, my thing is, I don't have a problem with interracial dating. I just don't. But like I said, my thing is, don't forget your identity. That's all I say. And my thing also is that, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, 10, 20 years from now, I mean, the area I live in, it's a lot of, mixed couples. I mean, it's just what it is. And I already know the chances of me having, if I'm still living, I hope I am, but the God willing, I have grandchildren, the chances of me having so-called black grandbabies is slim to none. And I'm okay with that. I can live that doesn't bother me. I mean, I can remember coming up, my mother was so afraid that me and my brother were gonna interracially date, because I grew up in Garland, Texas. I grew up around a lot of Mexicans, and I do believe, had I not moved back to Monroe, Louisiana, I probably would be in an interracial relationship, because all I was around was majority of Mexicans and white girls, and the black girls just didn't like me. But when I moved to Lancaster in 8th grade, the black girls liked me. But then when I moved to Monroe, where it was literally all black around my own people, then I was like, oh, okay, I never experienced this before. So it really depends on the culture you grow up around, So like I said before, I already know the chances of my sons marrying black women is probably slim to none, and the closest they'll probably marry to a black woman is a black lady whose dad is black and mom is white, or vice versa. That's just the reality of it. That's not even something I don't even sit up at night like, oh, I want full black grandchildren. That ain't even my concern. My thing is, when it comes to interracial dating, I just always tell our people, don't lose yourself, if that makes sense. Don't be uncomfortable in a room if you don't have to. Check certain behaviors. You got to go ahead and check at the door, because if not, you're gonna keep dealing with it. But matter of fact, I got both my nephews are black and Mexican, and I got a nephew that's black and Cambodian. So I have biracial children in my family. So trust me, I'm not against it by any means, but I just know, for me personally, especially when certain brothers get economically mobile, sometimes they just forget who they are. I mean, I've literally been around a brother with a non-black woman. He just talking shit about black people. I'm like, damn, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you crazy? And I got to walk off. I'm like, come on, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. If you love her, dog. Ain't nobody. I'm not challenging the love you have for her. I don't care. Like, my whole thing is what people do behind closed doors. As long as you're not harming anyone, is your business. Like you said, Shai, you don't have to explain. You're not going to explain why I love him. I gotta explain to you why I love this guy. I love the guy.
Like I said, so many people do the opposite. They be like, well, he ain't black, that's why I love him. You be like, damn. And vice versa. She ain't black, that's why I love her. All my black baby mamas took me for child support.
Yeah.
A white one wouldn't. I'm like, yeah, they would, but okay, try having a kid whatever you want to. You think you ain't gonna pay no child support.
You run into those, like, even when we were just dating, his brother said, I had met his brother, and I was about to meet his entire family at a family get-together, and his brother says, don't worry, you won't be uncomfortable. My cousin is married to a black girl. And the guy that I was dating was like, what the fuck you say that to her for? Like, what that's supposed to mean? It's gonna be people there, just people. She gonna be good regardless of who there. But he, like you said, immediately checked that at the door. Like, don't don't start that black girl, white people shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then, but let me tell y'all, this is so funny to this day. And only black people can relate to what I'm about to say. So we get to the family get together, and I meet the cousin's black girlfriend, she's mixed, but she is not black.
Wow. She confused.
I can't even say she's confused because at what
No, she's confident in what she is.
Yes. She was raised by her mother's people, and her dad's people, who was black, weren't in her family. So that's all she knew was white people. So therefore,
yeah,
her skin was clear. Her skin was clearly mulatto, but that's it. That's where it stopped. That was it. So I'm sitting here at the family get together like, no, I'm still the only black girl here. And I'm still like...
me and Queen deal with that all the time at work.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I never brought that up to him. I just let that be my inside black joke, but she was just like, now that I'm around black people, let me tell y'all what happened.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you... And I'm going to tell you something else. You got to look at also within the black community, there are micro communities. Because there are, I used to do a lot of research on the on black secret societies, and I did a lot of research on black elites, and it's alive and well. Trust me, it is alive and well. You got black folks that keep it. They only want this wealthy family to marry this wealthy family. This, it's really on some elitism type shit. That's real. So.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good.
Even in my own family, when I was dating this white guy, everybody was cool with it. Nobody had anything to say. When we showed up at my parents' house and he told my daddy, I asked her to marry me, she said...
Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Nerds. NerdWallet presents Money Questions Credit Card Round. Ready, Steve? No time to answer. How can you compare and apply for the best travel credit cards?
Turn to the nerds.
Where can you find the best card for your credit score?
Turn to the nerds.
For a triple point bonus, is it better to earn rewards in points or miles?
I'm kidding. Turn to the nerds.
Winner, winner.
Fiscally responsible dinner.
Game's over, Steve.
From the lowest rates to the best rewards, for all your credit card questions, turn to the nerds at nerdwallet.com.
Yes, we're getting married. My daddy said, no, the fuck y'all not.
Damn. Oh, shit.
I'm glad I wasn't thinking about water. Damn, I wasn't expecting that. That's why I'm laughing.
In real life, my daddy said, no, the fuck y'all not. And I'm like, no, daddy, like, for real, he got me a ring and everything. like, for real, we are. Like, for real. And my daddy was like, no, the fuck you not. He said, you can date him and he can take you out, but you're not marrying that motherfucker. Oh, hell no.
Ooh. How did that make you feel?
Because that was his only reason, because he was white. My daddy was like, no, you can date him and all that, let him take you out. He was like, but you don't marry him. No, you don't marry those people.
How did that make you feel?
First, I was shocked because I had never heard, there was nothing to indicate that my father felt that way prior to that moment at all. In all my life.
Wow.
I had never gotten an indication from him that he felt that strongly about him. There was never a conversation about us dating outside of our race. There was never, and even when we were just dating, my daddy didn't have nothing to say, hey, where's Grady? Tell him I said, hey, it was all cool. He knew Grady was my boyfriend, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But when you get to talking about marriage and we're finna be together forever, my daddy was like, no, we don't do that. We don't marry outside our race. No, don't you do that. And he was not okay with it and told my mother he was not going to walk me down the aisle because he was not okay with that.
Ooh, that's tough.
I was shocked. And then I was hurt.
Yeah.
Because, I was like, Daddy, you love me.
Right.
Regardless of the choices that I make. And, I think how we reflect and look at our parents differs as we grow older.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then, oh my gosh, I was devastated. My daddy he's so mean and he's so cruel, and how could he not love me enough to want to walk me down the aisle? It was a question of, I literally was questioning if my daddy loved me, my whole daddy. If my daddy loved me, because he refused to walk me down the aisle. But that was my immaturity at the time. Long-standing, although I still feel how I feel about dating whoever I want to date, whatever color, because that's who I have developed to. I also respect my father's position, as in no parent wants a hard life for their child.
Yeah.
And he knew that would be a hard life for me, with me choosing to be married to a white man. That's not what he wanted for me.
Yeah.
He wanted me to marry someone that looked like him and was like him, a strong black man. So it wasn't that he didn't love me or that he was, I don't even know so much that he was against the person I was engaged to as a person. It's just strictly based off of, one, we marry people that look like us, first and foremost, because I want for my daughter the best, and the best for her is this strong black man.
Yeah.
It couldn't be no different than me. I get that now, or, not just now, but I get it.
Yeah, I get you saying, yeah.
And I respect my father for that. I don't agree, but I respect it.
Yeah, I get it. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that is. More than a few times I'm actually speechless.
Yeah, that's tough right there. I mean, like you said, I personally know Shy. She's family. We she family. So I can personally tell you, she ain't on no bullshit. And I could not imagine. And like you said, we can't really fault our parents for a lot of, and like I said, as I get older, a lot of things I look past. If that makes sense to you, that my parents did. I'm like, well, they really didn't make much sense. But as a parent now, it's like, man, I kind of see what I kind of felt, what my parent may have been through. Or, and you got to look at, your father was from a different generation too.
Exactly.
Like I said, my mom was, she that was one of her biggest fears, and she expressed it, amongst some family members one day, friends and family members, and I was like, what? Why does it matter if I end up with that? That shouldn't even matter, But like I said, I truly believe, had I not moved back to Monroe, Louisiana, I truly believe I probably would be in an interracial marriage, because that's, since I moved to Texas when I was 5 years old, so that's all I was around, And when I moved to Monroe, Louisiana, where it was all black, at least the community I lived in, you know, that was a culture shock to me because, you know, I was like, damn, I ain't never seen that many black people, you know, so it was a culture shock, but I acclimated, you know, and I had a love and appreciation for my people, you know, and that started during those teenage years because that's what I was around, you know, and even prior to that, I've never been like against my own people because I always, like most people, I was in a black church and everything like that, so I had a love for my people. But when you are actually in a black community, you go to a black church, you go see everything damn near black, you understand, you know. And I can like I was telling my wife, you know, she, you know, they from the East Coast, and I was telling her how the first time I saw successful black people was when I moved to Lancaster when I was like 14. I had never seen black people with money. I never knew that even existed. I was like, oh, damn, they got money, black folks? I never seen this in my life, you know? And to me, that was another culture shock. Now, of course, over the years, Lancaster has changed, but, you know, hell, I can remember when Lancaster was number country roads, you know, and now it's a whole nother, man, it trips me out, you know? And that's why I tell people all the time, you know, that was my first start of a black experience. And then when I moved back when I got in high school, it was like, whoa. Now I was amongst black people who were, you know, we were in a very impoverished situation. You know, I was in a situation where, hey, we all poor. You know? So, you know, that's why I can understand exactly what you're saying. I can understand what your dad is saying also.
Right.
It's funny because when I was in high school, I actually dated the first and only time I did it to the white girl, and it's because somebody, you know, she actually approached me, who was in track. Trying to find out she had to have me from her parents because her parents didn't want her dating niggas, and so, you know, I didn't want to be in that type of relationship. Even as when I was a teenager, I'm like, hey, if your parents can't accept me, and you really, you know, you care about what they think, we need to be together.
Yeah.
And that was really the last time, because I never wanted to experience that again. Yeah. And it helped that, you know, I started doing more and more research about, you know, the history and stuff like that. Like, never mind, I'm good. You know, especially after experiencing that.
And I do have to say, after our relationship broke up, I've dated one other white man since then, and that's about it. But I think that's because my preference is, I have a preference for black. You know, if they said, hey, what's your ideal man? And I said, this, you know, my preference would be a black man. But I think when you get into a situation where you're weighing out, you know, okay, he has all these other qualities, but he's not black.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I can do that and still love and have an infinity love for my black man and my culture, and not lose who I am, because even the mate that I'm with is going to respect me and my culture and my family to the fullest extent. You're not going to want me to be anything different than who I am because you love me because I am this beautiful black woman, or not even black woman because I'm this beautiful woman. That's why you love me. So whoever I choose to be with, I'm sure is going to have to respect that if I choose to ever date outside my race. But I just think it's grossly unfair how especially black women are judged when they do date outside of their race. Like, oh, look at her, or she, you know, or this. And I've never been one to defend my relationship, and I don't feel that anyone should have to defend any of their relationship choices, regardless of what they are. Mm-hmm. But you do get forced more into that position by black men. I mean, we actually had black men that were blatantly disrespectful to him just to see what he would do. I mean, like, we walking holding hands. Hey, can I get your number? Are you serious?
Wow.
Are you serious right now? Like, this is my whole man. We holding hands. Are you serious right? You know, and it would be like that. But then, and he wasn't no punk white boy, you know. He was like, hey, man, you know, he would say something, but rather than there be a confrontation, allow me to check that. Allow me to check him in this relationship because he's being disrespectful to you via me. Let me check that. You know, and I would expect him to do the same like he did with his family when his family got out of line. You check him. You know, but I just think it's unfair, and I don't think that as a black woman, you know, like even Eve is married to that billionaire white boy right now. Good for you, girl. Go be happy. Even
you heard what? Say it again.
Even if he was a dollionaire, like even if he only had $1, if she wanna go be happy with her white man, let her go be happy with her white man. She probably.
It's like they just now having a race talk because apparently ever since this COVID-19 or this George Floyd whatever happened, she was like, yeah, we having uncomfortable conversations about race. I'm like, y'all didn't have this conversation before you got married? Like, I just, you know, certain conversations I feel like you probably want to have before you get to the point where you commit the rest of your life with anybody. But since we're talking about the whole interracial thing, you probably want to have that type of conversation because, I mean, if you believe, for example, that black is people, there is a such thing as white privilege and your partner don't, you probably want to have that type of conversation to see where each other stand. But, you know, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of things, both sides to me, and I've seen it, heard it on TV, to me, I call it ignorance of both sides,
right.
Let their white, Hispanic, whatever, disrespect them in a way that you be like, wow, I know if you was dating a black woman, you would not let her say this to you.
Right.
But that because she's not black that's what like I said, like you the first person I ever heard say that, hey, I just love this man. But everybody else, again, he ain't black, that's why I love him. You know, or she ain't black, that's why I love her. You know, and to me that's when when they cheat on you or break up with you, then you wanna cry.
Right.
And that's when I'm like, okay, no, they was, you know, the white skin was better than the black skins. That's what you said.
Right.
You know, like I said, again,
now you're trying to fill in the dark and leave with love because you didn't mess with this white woman and she didn't drove you crazy.
Yep. You thought she was gonna treat you better than, you know, the black woman. I mean, but you know, that's
everybody in your business. At least we don't call the police. We keep our shit on the low and we deny everything. No, he really didn't get me in my ITEL time. No, he's
right,
not.
I failed. The only person I blame, I'm cool.
Yeah, that white woman. Oh, he calling the police, and let me retract. I'm not promoting that in any. I'm not. But I'm saying typically as black women, we don't like to put them people in our business.
Yeah.
You know, I might not call you, but I'm going to call my brothers. Now, please believe all my cousins and brothers can come over here and get on, you know, but I might not call them.
Right.
You know.
You know, we actually have in Chicago, it's a funny saying that we have. We're like, there is no tougher man than a Chicago black woman. And
I was born in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, you can try that domestic violence. I mean, because my fiance's from being her from Chicago, we didn't realize that we grew up a couple blocks away from each other this whole time. But I always joke with her. I'm like, man, because we were playing around, like, man, leave me alone. I'm at the Harlem Night shoot. Remember when he shot her in the big toe?
Yeah.
And I'm like, leave me alone. I ain't playing. You know, I don't got time for this. I don't lose fights. I just pull out the gun and shoot people pinky toes and stuff. And then she like, whatever. But yeah, no. I mean that's where I'm at with, you know, like I'm telling you, the first person I actually heard, like, hey, I just love this person. This is why. You the first person. I never heard that before.
That's sad.
It is.
That is.
That's what made me really have a different. That's what made me have a different outlook. I mean, as you said, I was like, wow, this is crazy. I never thought deeply into it, just because, again, when you hear it so many times from, and it's either gender, black man, black woman, when they outside their race, they always gotta put somebody down. I never felt like that was love. When you gotta put down somebody, your own, just to prove this is why you stepped outside your race, that's not love.
That's not love.
You should not demean somebody else to say as a reason why. I would never demean my, for example, ex-girlfriends in order to say, oh, this is why I love you, baby. Now, certain things that obviously I chose them for a reason, and I broke up with them for a reason, but I'm not about to bash them.
Right.
Because, I chose them at the end of the day. So, and they chose me.
Same strength about co-parenting.
And that's a topic we're gonna talk about next podcast. Shabba, she got some good podcast topics, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm gonna say this, I wanna backtrack to another reason why I feel like the brothers don't approach you. And it's something that came to my mind. You gotta look at also, I don't know if you have an Instagram, but I have an Instagram. And when you see the women on there, you like, wow. So a lot of these single men, even in the 30s and 40-year age gap, they are looking at these IG models and they want that in real life. But they don't realize a lot of that is just is just fugazi. It's not real. So
and they gonna get real bad with me because I'm all natural.
Yeah, you are natural.
See,
but
you gotta get those shots.
Yeah, you gotta look at.
I'm playing.
I mean, I couldn't imagine.
My lashes. No, I don't do none of that. I don't have the time or patience for it.
I'm gonna tell.
That's the truth of it, but I don't do nothing now.
I'm gonna tell you. I couldn't imagine being single nowadays because it's hard.
It's hard. It is. It is hard.
When you
really gotta.
No, go ahead. You good?
It's really hard because, and then you gotta be okay with. It's like, I know a lot of people that have started relationships by somebody inboxing them in Facebook.
Yeah.
I wish a man would. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
You going like, and it's not like, I'm not talking like an old friend that's, hey, you know, how you doing? Are you okay? I'm talking about men that I may have dated in high school that inbox me and say, hey, you're the one that got away. Really? Did you tell that to your wife? Get out my inbox. Like, I want more personalization than online dating and somebody inboxing me. That seems so impersonal.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather a blind date than to somebody inbox me on Facebook trying to get my attention. And I don't know why. That might be silly of me.
No.
That I think
you want that human interaction.
Yeah, I want you to, like, I want you to know that, okay, but that profile picture might be cute, but I don't want you to be okay with the cute profile picture. I want you to laugh, you know, even if it's just that 30-second conversation that we have. I want you to get a feeling from me for that 30 seconds that we're having that conversation. You know, in my face or whatever. it just seems real impersonal to me to online date or the inboxing thing. And not to knock anybody's relationship, because I know people that have gotten married via that, but I'm like, girl, he in my inbox and 12 other inboxes too. Like.
Right. He said she was the one gonna respond.
Yeah, and I don't even want to be made from jump to feel like I'm one of many. From jump, I want to know that your interest is solely on me.
Yeah.
Even if it's for this 30 seconds that you're trying to get my number.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about online dating.
Oh, I get it.
But it's
I'd rather see the person face to face.
I'm telling you, it's just I could not imagine being single now, because man, you got the IG models, you got this Facebook groups, you got so much at your fingertip. You got the OnlyFans, you got all this at your fingertip, and it's like, man, why would I traditionally date and court when I can just inbox a chick off Instagram and cash out her $100 and meet it at the Momo and do what I do? And you know what I'm saying? Like, everything nowadays it's at your fingertips. And
you know way too much about that process, so you're gonna have to clip that out.
You say what?
You know way too much about that process.
Yeah. Nah, hey, that's common. Hey, I haven't engaged in it, don't get me wrong, but it is, like I told people on Facebook years ago, I said, anytime you see a woman with a Cash App on her Facebook, that means she's selling pussy. It's common sense. Why you need your Cash App on your Facebook? Why? Because you're trying to sell something. And so when you go on,
that's a privilege thing. That's a privilege thing to say, Corey.
When you go on Instagram, man, it's like,
I'm playing with you.
Nah, you good. When you go on Instagram, man, it's like all these women got their Cash App only. I'm like, good Lord, everybody on OnlyFans. So that's what I'm saying.
For my Cash App the other day, I had somebody ask me for my Cash App the other day, and I'm like, I don't even know my Cash App. My kids know my Cash App well.
Yeah.
But I don't even. I couldn't even tell you what my Cash App name is, or how to even find me or get to me.
Man, that's just
I don't know why. Not judging people that do that, because you don't know that woman's situation on what she having to do what she got to do. I don't judge people based off of what they do or what they're hustling. Even if that might not be my choice.
Yeah.
To each his own. But I don't get that. And yeah, it's tough being single.
Yeah, it's
sometimes
tough.
You like, man, let me see, date or Netflix. I'm starting to think Netflix. We actually go together. I know he cheating on me, but so I'm saying this. We got to understand about entanglements and stuff. So seriously, it's tough, and you got to be comfortable. Dating nowadays, you have to be comfortable with being by yourself.
Yeah.
Because if not, you can lose yourself in becoming what they want you to be.
True.
That's true. Yeah. Well, look here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this podcast up. And like I said, we definitely gonna continue to do this, man. Like I said, the next show topic will be, what's the title again, Shy? What was it you were saying? Co-parenting. So, yeah. So, like I said, that's gonna be a good topic right there, man. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
We need to have your other friend on there too, because sounds like she's also in a co-parenting situation, and neither one of you are.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's not my lane.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hit her up, and we can do that. We can do that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And I would love to hear you all's perspective. Well, because I guess you could co-parent in a marriage. So, okay.
Well, like you said, I don't have experience in that. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't. I'm gonna tell you, I've been married so long now. I couldn't picture being a single dad. I just couldn't picture it. Not saying that, I hope it never comes to that. But at the end of the day, it's just, man, I'm telling you, nowadays, it just, things have changed. So I couldn't picture it. Like I said, I think co-parenting is a good topic.
Yeah, co-parenting and blended families. When you have to talk about that nowadays too, where the parents don't work, so now you're having to co-parent, and you might date someone else that's coming with children. Now you have to blend all the children, as well as the child that the two of you now may have given birth to. Anyway, okay, it's 9:00. My grandbaby is like really mad at me right now.
All right, thank y'all so much for coming on.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And there you have it, people. There you have it. This is our part 2 to the part 1 today. Again, this is the part 2 of our first podcast today, and the name of that was Does Black Men Privilege Exist? And this will be Does Black Men Privilege Exist Part 2. Again, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, like and share, and download. Downloading is good. Download these episodes, while you're on your way to work. You can have some good, healthy conversation to listen to. And we out.
Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Looking for your next great hire? CareerBuilder is the fastest growing job site in the U.S. with over 140 million candidate profiles and growing. Plus, candidates on CareerBuilder have skills for the most in-demand occupations. Let us help you rebuild and rehire a strong, more diverse workforce fast. CareerBuilder, we're building for you. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.